Now, could you just briefly introduce to our audience about yourself, especially, your relationship to the Richland community and the school district?
Thank you. Well, I'm a behavioral scientist. I've been in Richland for 26 years. I have a company. I'm a consultant, a business consultant. And so my specialty is to provide leadership training, for example, for all of the Hanford site. They're my clients. I have many hospitals and some educational service districts that I provide consultation to. And so I not only provide consultation on business and leadership, I have a daughter that's in the Richland School District. And so I've had a lot of engagements with them. And this past year, I've learned quite a bit about how we're doing. And so part of that is why I'm running for Richland School Board.
Yeah, now, so to us, when before I moved here, we looked at different places in the school and all decided that Richland School District is thought to be a good school district, one of those places where parents who want kids to go to good school to go to. So, but are you seeing something that's really strongly motivates you to come out and run for the school board's position?
No, absolutely. So I thought the same thing. And the Richland community is a beautiful community. It's a fantastic community. We have a lot of professionals. We are very diverse. But in terms of the school district, over the last year, as I started researching, I found a lot of things. For example, as a consultant, one of the first things I look for in a company is to see what their strategic plan is. Because the strategic plan is the roadmap for how we conduct our business, how we provide services to our children, how we provide all the different programs that we provide to our children. And our school district does not have a strategic plan. That's just one thing. As I looked a little bit further, I started to look at how our children were performing academically. And again, we have a good school district, but only 61% of our children are passing in English and language arts. Only 51% of our children are passing in terms of math, and only 44% of our children are meeting the grade standard for science. And so when I say passing, I mean meeting the grade standard. And so that is pretty much a D and 2 Fs in terms of meeting the grade standard. There's just a lot. And then when we look at some of the curriculum that has been introduced in the past, comprehensive sex education, now we're talking about critical race theory. It's very concerning and very disturbing.
So, yeah, we're going to get to the critical race theory in a little bit. But first, when you listed these areas where even traditionally thought of as good school district at such a failure rate, where do you think the current board failed to meet the challenge?
I think it has to do with accountability. I know testing is a big topic. Some people feel that we should have more specialized testing, and so that teachers have a better idea of how the children are doing. And I agree with that. We have to make sure that however we're doing our testing, that teachers are gauging where our students at this time in their educational lives. And all children learn a little bit different. And so back to your point, when you look at that, we have mostly master's degrees, graduate degree teachers. And so these are highly educated teachers in our school district. And so it begs the question, well, if we have such educated teachers, why are our students not doing well? And I have to trace that back to accountability. For example, what are our accountability standards for teachers in performing to ensure that our children are doing what they need to do at the time that they're getting tested or assessed? And again, I'm not blaming teachers because they are a precious asset, just like our children, but we have to look at why we are where we're at. And when we don't have a strategic plan, I would guess that we have no assessments in terms of performance, in terms of holding people accountable for the performance of our students.
So you would look at that where they didn't do well, the root cause would be the people who make the decision, and that's in the school board.
Absolutely. The Revised Code of Washington 28A, it holds the school board accountable for holding the superintendent accountable for holding her and principals and vice principals and teachers accountable to provide the adequate services to our children. And so for me and my business, for me and all of my practice and what I do, I'm accountable for the success of my clients. And I look to myself. If my client is struggling, I have to look to myself. Am I doing the best I can do? Am I providing the proper service or intervention to ensure that my client is getting the results that they need and deserve? I take accountability for my service. We need to ensure that our school district and all of our professionals in our school district are being held accountable for the services that they're providing to our children, education.